We are back, ladies and gentlemen, on the fastest podcast on this here planet Earth. It is called the Cat's Corner Podcast with your host, the three-time World Karate Champion, WWE legend, WCW legend, and an Academy Award nominated film actor, the wrestler himself, Ernest the Cat Miller. I am your co-host with the most. Ray W. Don't mean to trouble you, Keziah, aka Big Shug, manager of future Hall of Famers. And we are here today on the Cat's Corner to discuss nothing other than pro wrestling. But before we get going, Cat, let's talk about Recite, our illustrious sponsor.
We're Recite. Of course we offer all-inclusive site work. We're Recite. Of course we have a dynamic site crew. We're Recite. We have secure foundations. We're Recite. Of course we're good stewards. Recite redefines the way site work is done. Contact us at recite.com. It's RE-SITE.com.
Couldn't do it without them. Wesley and the gang, they keep us rolling. Here on the Cat's Corner. How you doing, Cat? You looking good?
Listen, I'm doing good, man. But you know what? I like to send a shout out to we're growing. I want to thank people for subscribing and liking us and following us and donating to the cause. It's great, man. Things are going really good. So I like to thank the fans who are out there listening to us.
And don't forget that Cash App, $ Cat's Corner Podcast. That's $ Cat's Corner Podcast. Give till it hurts and then give a little more.
You know what, Big Ray? I like talking, but sometimes I get burned out. I mean, this podcast and I'm talking to people, man, and trying to interview people, and I'm kind of a quiet person. I don't do a lot of talking. I really don't, Ray. You know that. I'm laid back, man. I'm a good old country boy in the country having a good time. I'd rather be out riding my horse,
You got a horse now?
Don't worry about that. Yes. Got riding my horse on my tractor, my dirt bike. I like that kind of stuff. But for some reason, man, people like to hear the cat. They miss the cat. When I went to Vegas or WrestleMania, man, it was so many fans to come up to me and they were able to tell me and let me in on the part of my life back in WCW that I gave to them and how they enjoyed it so much that they still remember. And they just wanted to come in, meet me, shake my hand, and said, thanks for entertaining us.
Well, and you were definitely entertaining for sure.
But see, right now, you can still hear me talk that talk. You can still hear me say some things every now and then that's going to make you giggle and then sometimes laugh out loud. But you get it right here on the Cat's Corner Podcast.
The one and only.
People, if you don't know who I am, if you think the Cat's Corner is just about some old cat man out there, no. The Cat's Corner is about Ernest the Cat Miller. I'm
and
here,
his co-host, me.
I'm here. Well, I'm here, about Ray. I'm here. If you want to hear me talk,
you're here for it.
You want to hear me talk. Now, what we going to do in the near future, we going to start going live.
Yeah,
we're going to be taking.
I think the people deserve us to go live.
Listen, and I want to warn you guys. The cat is not nice to the fans. So when you call in, and you want to talk to the cat or talk to someone here on the Cat's Corner, you better be respectful. Because if not,
or you might get the smackdown.
Bro, can I finish talking? Ernest the Cat Miller, can I finish talking? Then you can come up to talk. Once I get going, it's okay.
All right.
Now, if you guys call in and you disrespectful like my co-host sometimes, keep cutting me off, you're going to get the Cat's Corner, all right? You're going to get the worst side of the cat. Because I'm going to let you know, I'm going to put you in your place. Now, if I got a fan on here that want to call in and just ask some real serious question to, let's say, Goldberg, who gonna be another guest. He gonna be here for round 2 soon. Bret Hart, Jimmy Hart. We got some new guys coming on, some AEW guys. We got a long list of names that we can choose from. But if you guys come up here and think you're gonna call here when we go live and talk smack to Big Ray, talk smack to me, bro, I'm gonna call my mama.
You guys slap somebody.
I'm about to whoop somebody. I'm calling my mama. So Big Ray, I had a situation last night where I could have watched the basketball game. Mm-hmm. And I watched a little bit of the basketball game, but it was so boring. Boston just let me down every time. But it's not over. But every time I seem to watch Boston play, the big stars never show up until game 3 and 4.
Come on, man. It's good for basketball that the Knicks are up 2-0. They ain't won nothing since 1970, since Willis Reed, baby, in game 7, making that miraculous trip out to the Madison Square Garden and making that crowd go, booyah.
Yeah, but we're talking about now, man. We're talking about now. Basketball is not what it used to be, man.
I know that.
Don't nobody want to put the ball down, pound the ground, hit the backboard, slam, tear down the goal, and look at each other. And the referee got to pull each other away from each other, not because they're about to fight, because they playing basketball real hard.
Yeah,
you don't see that. Everything is so sweet today. It's so easy.
Everybody, you can't touch nobody without it being a foul.
Bro, you see the guys start out in the first quarter, and they look the same in the fourth quarter. They don't look like, bro, you've been doing some heavy work before. You've been out when you started out, and you started out calm and relaxed and
fresh.
And then fresh. And then as you move, you start to sweat a little bit more. Your body started to warm up. Then you look down at yourself at the end of your job. You look down at yourself and you're a little sweaty. You're a little musty. Your socks are pulled down. You just put in that work. But you don't see that in pro basketball. Everything looked the same. They all have a smile on their face. And that's what I saw. So anyway, I started watching Boston play. And then once I saw what was going down, I decided, you know what, let me go over and watch pro wrestling.
But wait a minute, before we jump to wrestling, you got to understand now, Boston's at home. They're the defending NBA champions. They were up 21 points on the New York Knicks. And the New York Knicks came all the way back and beat them again. 2 games in a row. Thank God for DraftKings, because DraftKings made me $250 last night because I took the Knicks in the points because everybody thought Boston just gonna kill them, and Boston did.
But wait a minute. So you use DraftKings. So you bet. Yeah, I mean, you're a betting man. You're a gambling man.
I will gamble. And
wow,
DraftKings
bro.
to me is the best app out there. It's the easiest to navigate through.
You need to hook me up with that, man. Cause
go on your iPhone and go to your app store and download DraftKings.
Bro, no, I know you, Ray. You know somebody in close to the top. You don't just start at the bottom.
I know the guy.
You know him. So I need to find out how to get hooked up with that myself. So anyway, Boston did what he was gonna do and what they were gonna do, and I knew they were gonna do anyway. They're gonna lose the first 2 games, and I can almost guarantee you and whoever want to bet with me that Boston is gonna win this series.
In how many games? You think it's going to go all 7?
Bro, listen, 1 game or half a game win, it's a win. I don't care. But Boston will win this thing. I tell you what, if Boston don't win the next time we come on here, I'm going to sit down right here butt naked. I'm doing the butt naked.
Lord.
I'm doing the butt naked. I'm going to do the interview butt naked.
I might have to take a blue chew for that.
What the hell?
You gonna be naked? I'm gonna take a blue chew. I'm gonna make
Hey,
it worth
bro,
a while.
what the fuck? Hey, bro, pause, man, pause.
Oh,
Shit, man, let me.
I
Ray.
had to sneak it in there somewhere because I
No,
didn't know
no,
where we
to
was gonna get it
pause.
in.
That's another pause. We ain't getting nothing in. Pause, man. Take it easy, bro. What's wrong with you today, man?
It's too early, man. It's too early. Too early. We're doing this early.
I need to talk to your wife about that, man.
Man, I
That
done
will,
blue chewed her ass to death. She don't want no more talk about blue chew. She wants
bro.
to just no chew.
Ray. Before we got started, we did go over this. You going overboard with it now. Take it
Okay.
easy.
All right. So
Take
talk
it
to me.
easy.
Talk to me about this wrestling that you and I both watched last night. AEW's Dynamite.
Well, I watched it live. You didn't. You were sobbing in that losing basketball game.
Hey, I
Boston.
won. I won.
Yeah.
As soon as
But
it was
anyway,
over, I flipped over and watched from the beginning to the end.
but you know what, man? Watching AEW, man, I'm gonna have to say it was a pretty good show.
What was your favorite match?
It wasn't even the match. It was the TV side of it. I'm watching TV. Sometimes when you watch TV, you can forget that you're watching TV. You know, and what I mean by that, you don't see a storyline. You just like, for instance, when I go on my computer, go on my iPhone, and I can just look through everything real fast. Just look through everything. And it's not like watching TV. It just, taking my attention away. I can just scroll through videos of people doing stupid shit.
I get that.
But last night watching AEW, damn, it was almost like I was watching a good TV show. I mean, the interviews, man. I don't know if you saw that interview with Mercedes Monet and what's her name? Jamie
Hayter. Yes, I watched it.
Bro, the way it started, all the way they were sitting in chairs and talking, it was just almost like watching a TV show. They were
and then Mercedes come attacked her from behind, and then they fought all the way through.
Big Ray, why you got to go over? Did you ask my perspective of what I watched?
I asked you what match you thought was the best because you texted me last night and said you were watching a great match.
Hey, bro, but we got to go over the whole show. We got to cover the whole show, Big Ray.
Okay, then you should start at the beginning.
Can you shut your damn mouth so we can get going? You got to keep. Do you have anything to advertise that can shut people's mouth, especially people with big mouth? You got anything?
The sleep number bed that I sleep on will shut your mouth while you sleeping. You'll snooze all night, baby. You'll snooze all night on the sleep number.
Now, where do you get those beds from?
From the Sleep Number store. They have a store. You go in, lay down, and the computer does an analyzation of your body, where your pressure points and stuff are, and then you have a number. And my number is 55. So I set my bed on 55. My wife's 45. So 55, 45, and you can adjust it and go up and down. The feet go up and down. The head goes up and down. It's badass. I've had it for over a dozen years.
Hey, I'm calling old folks. I'm going to get one because I'm looking to get a new mattress too.
Oh,
mattress we had was good, but I need something kind of just throughout the night.
I've had them all. Tempur-Pedic, Posturepedics, all of them.
When you go to bed at night, everything is cozy. You feel it just good. You covered up, man. Everything is right. Everything is perfect. Mm-hmm. Cover over you up on that shaking. You feel like it. I felt like I did when I was a little boy in my mom's house. Just so comfortable and so safe. Then about 2:00 in the morning, man, feel like the house is on fire. The bed is so right. The cover, I throw the cover off, all the pillows on the floor. My wife like, what are you doing? I said, it's hot. Then
you're going through menopause. They call that menopause.
No. Once I lay back down and relax and drink a glass of water, or go to the bathroom and take a pee, I'm back in the bed, sleeping again, back like a baby. So anyway, but that new bed sounds good, man.
Yeah, man. Sleep numbers. Go check them out.
So let's go back to AEW. So like I said, it was just like watching a TV show. And the acting on this show was pretty good. It was pretty good. Like I said, with Jamie and Mercedes, man, they looked good. They looked the part. They looked like they were dressed to the T. The makeup looked good. I mean, everything looked good. They looked like women. Right. Then the way they went at each other, man, it looked like, I mean, it was convincing. It was entertaining to watch. So that was a good episode. I love watching that, man. But the match I will tell you about, though, that I really like, man, is with Ricochet. I like Ricochet. Ricochet got to be one of the most athletic wrestlers I've ever seen.
Yeah. But Mike Speedball Bailey is very, very good too. Very good.
But you know, I like Speedball because of course he's a karate guy, and some of the stuff he was doing in there was equal to what Rey Mysterio and those guys used to do back in the day.
Oh yeah, for sure. But that by far was the most entertaining match on the card last night.
But I mean, they did so many high spots.
How about when the Bucks come across and that guy was on the top rope and one of them jumped off the top rope and hit him and bounced him up and the other one power bombed him. I ain't never seen that move ever.
See, but that's what you can do with lightweight guys. You can throw them around like that too. So and I
think doing that with a 280.
No, and I think Speedball is a very small, 185, maybe 200.
200 pounds, maybe.
So even the Young Bucks, they're pretty small guys too, right?
Yeah. 175, 180.
Yeah, so you expect to see action like that, like you would see in Mexico and the Mexican wrestling.
You had Swerve in there.
That was big. Swerve did a kick that was beautiful when the guy was on the ground and he hit the rope and bang, that was beautiful. He moved really well. He got a little thicker.
Yeah,
this dude got a
little legit thicker. Heavyweight now.
Yeah, when I first saw him, he was kind of lightweight, but he worked on his body. I mean, his action in the ring. But you know what? Though, a match like that with so much going on, though, it's sometimes bad for the TV. It's bad for the whole show.
It's hard to follow that for sure.
And I'm gonna tell you why, Big Ray. Because the first match back in the day, they used to tell me how they used to do it back in the time before I got in, before 96.
Right.
They used to go over all the matches and they'll tell people not to go outside the ring, stay in the ring. They'll tell people not to do this move, not to do that move, not to do this. And the reason they gave them a list of stuff, of things not to do, was because they wanted people to see it for the first time by somebody else on the card that night.
Right.
Because think about this. If you see every high power play, speed
high
play,
spot, every one of them early.
High spot. If you see every high spot early in the first match or second match like that, the fans ain't gonna have that shock value by the end of the night.
Then what you gonna do in your main event? I mean, when it's all been done throughout the whole card, it's gonna look like a repeat of what you already saw. So you gotta protect your main event.
Where the main event, was who was in that main event?
Main event was Samoa Joe versus Claudio Castagnoli.
But they did a good job with that. They didn't do a lot of high power stuff, but the way they had
Samoa Joe's a ground and pound guy. He ain't gonna be flying around like that.
So that was a good setup. Distant from that match that had all the high spots. I mean, they had high spot outside the ring, in the ring. I mean, it was a good match, and the crowd was with it the whole time.
It was hot. That was a hot crowd.
All those guys, if the crowd wasn't hot, the match was just that good. The match was good.
Yeah, but the fans were into it. The fans were into it from the very beginning. When Hangman and Will Ospreay got in the ring at the very beginning of the show, and they were like, "Holy shit! Holy shit!"
I didn't see that part.
That was the very beginning. But I'll tell you who I was really impressed with was the 4-way girls match. Those girls put it all out on the line, dog. That timeless Toni Storm she a dog. She's the best thing AEW's got going, in my opinion.
Well, I didn't watch that match.
You didn't watch the girls?
No, because I flipped back to watch what Denver were going to do and see how. Did you see that they scored? Denver played, who did they play?
Oklahoma City, and they scored
Oklahoma
87 points in the first
in
half.
the first half. In the first, I've never seen that in my life. 87 points in the first half. And let me tell you, these guys were shooting and hitting everything.
Oh my God, yes.
And they were scoring so fast merely off of defense. They played hard defense, turned defense into offense. So they did pretty good. So I would kind of flip it back and forth. The next match I was able to watch, man, was the match between was that Rainmaker and Kevin, a guy
Kevin
from
Knight.
Atlanta, Kevin Knight. Oh,
boy,
Kevin
he
Knight,
is good. Woo,
Kevin Knight
good.
he can fly. Yeah, I mean he get off the mat like.
I was hoping we were gonna get talk about him because he is amazing.
And it's so funny. I met this guy in Atlanta at, I forgot what show. It might have been a TNA show that came to Atlanta. And he was doing some work.
Ain't that one of your deals, Fourth Row?
Yeah, no, I don't think he was in Fourth Row. But I know I've seen it.
They were in Atlanta back in December.
Yeah, but I've seen it somewhere. And I think what I saw
maybe it was Turnbuckle. Was it Turnbuckle you saw him at?
Turnbuckle.
The one that
no. I don't think he came up in the Nightmare Factory with QT.
Okay. He trained in Japan for a while. He's really, really good.
So I met this guy standing back in the back. It was a show that Eric Bischoff was on in Atlanta. Okay. So I went down to see Eric. And in the meanwhile, he stopped to ask me for, hey, OG, any advice? I've never seen him work, but the way he was so humble and willing to listen to the advice that I was giving him, and even just to ask for it, I felt something for him. And I don't know if he was signed with AEW then, but I think he did tell me he did some work with AEW. And but the way he
did
worked,
some dark matches, but when he burst on the scene just a few short months ago. He ain't been on TV long with AEW. He has not been on TV very long. I'm gonna say less than 45 days or so. He's been on TV with AEW.
You know what I see with him is he's like a speedster. He's very fast. Everything he do, he bounce. He get up fast. He hit the mat fast. He sells good. He's someone can make
anybody look good.
He makes the other wrestler look good.
With his kip ups and his off the top rope stuff and his aerial assaults and stuff. Him and Will Ospreay was a hell of a match. I think that's when he first. Him and Will fought first. That's the first time I ever saw him, is when he fought Will Ospreay. And when it was done, they kind of shook hands and hugged at the end of it. I mean, you could tell that they had a genuine like for each other.
But watching the Rainmaker, I know people say he's real. He's supposed to be a really good wrestler, and I believe he is. But what I saw last night, he was kind of big and droopy. He's about a 6'3", 230 pounds. He's not very physically fit. He's not muscled up. He's just a big. I mean, he got a good look, got a good face, but his body was like a big horse. Everything he lumbered around. He was just big. He's a big dude. So I mean, I'm not picking on him. He's a big dude. But the way he worked with that guy last night, worked with Kevin Knight. Yeah, I didn't see a lot of stuff that he didn't impress me with, a lot of things he did. But Kevin Knight, he really impressed me.
Do you know what that's called? Getting over versus going over. Rainmaker went over, but Kevin Knight got over. He got over with the fans, even in a loss.
I don't think he got over. Let's not go overboard.
He got over. We're talking about him. We're talking about him right now. That means he got over.
No, that I'm talking about the kid personality.
Right.
I'm not talking. I watched this guy work for the first time last night, and I liked some of the stuff he was doing. I like how he was giving up his body just to make certain moves and certain things look good. He made the guy look good.
Absolutely.
And the Rainmaker didn't have to do much. I didn't see a lot of spectacular stuff that usually you see from the wrestler from Japan.
Yeah. Well, he is being positioned as one of the major players at AEW, the Rainmaker.
I think AEW is really into the Japanese style of wrestling.
That strong style, yeah.
Japan, yeah, very solid, and they work tight. And I think that worked good for what AEW is doing because AEW has such dynamic wrestlers, and they are all small. There are a lot of small guys. They're not very big over there. They're not very large over there. What are you doing, Ray? What are you doing, Ray?
I'm multitasking. Go ahead. I'm with you.
Bro, listen. If you're going to do this show, you need to do the show. If you got other things to do, you need to do that.
I'm researching as you're talking. I'm doing my job as a researcher online. You shut up.
Okay, calm down, bro.
Calm down. After you. You keep on talking, I'll take you out.
Once again, bro, are you 12 years old? What's wrong with you, man?
I loved Andre. He was my favorite. One of my favorites.
Andre would have slapped your head off your head and neck if he had met you. You talk too much.
When I was 14 years old, I met him in Piney Point off the golf course in Norwood, North Carolina. He put his hand over my face, and his hand touched past my ears.
Oh, so he just grabbed you in his hand.
He just touched my face and like, hello, kid.
Hey, this a good time to throw in that ad for that Blue Chew.
Oh, why? Does that turn you on?
That turned you on. You probably had that Blue Chew in your pocket ready to go when you saw Andre the Giant.
What I needed after that was my Cardone, and that is Cardon, Cardone skincare with that cactus extract that makes this face look so good. Andre about messed it up in 1984, but right now, look at
what is that? What is that? I mean, I don't understand. Cordon, what that's some kind of cooking grease? Is that some kind of cooking grease? What is it?
Nope. It's skincare I got three things I use. I use the dark circle remover, but you ain't got to worry about that, bro. But for white people, they get little dark circles under their eyes and stuff. And so you use that dark circle stuff. Then I use a proprietary blend of that cactus extract that they use on the skin care. And then I have a SPF when I go outside, a 30 SPF that I use.
And look at this.
And a purified mud mask that I use from there.
Look at this. Look at my
black
skin.
Don't crack, baby. Black don't crack.
I use nothing at all, baby. Nothing but water. Water and soap.
Baby oil, just like Diddy. I know what you're using.
Well, you've been talking real zesty.
That was a good one.
Today.
That was good there now. You got to admit that was good.
You've been talking real zesty today. I mean, what's up with you?
Real spicy.
Yeah, spicy. You want to be one of the Spice Girls?
Yeah,
man. Stop. Don't do
playing.
that, man. Pause. No, you ain't playing. I see you might be for real now. So where were we? Where
we were with Okada, the Rainmaker versus Kevin Knight, and that was one of the other matches you saw. What else did you see? Did you watch the main event?
I watched a little bit of the main event because I know
you got enthralled in that Denver Nuggets in Oklahoma.
Oh, that was a blowout. I mean, listen, sometime when you watch a game, like basketball game, football too, but basketball game, you either watch it until you know what the outcome may be. Or either you watching it because it's a closed game. You never can tell. But this was my first time watching a game merely because the other team were getting blown out so bad. 80.
And they tied the series up because Denver beat them at home the first game out of the box. This is the first win in this second round by a home team. Every other team has lost at home. It's been an anomaly for the NBA. This has never happened before.
You know what, man? Listen, I tell you what. Tell me the best basketball game, a best sporting event that you watched on TV. Do you remember?
Well, I would say it was when the Cowboys beat the Buffalo Bills in 1991 and won their first Super Bowl since 1975.
Okay.
But that's
okay.
For me as a kid.
Hold that, bro. I'm not asking you as a kid. Slow your roll. I don't need nothing but
a few. As a kid,
Listen,
just saying, in 1991, I was 21 years old.
I don't need but a few words out of your big mouth sometime.
All right. What about you?
Okay.
Let me throw the same question back to you. What is the one you saw that was the best? I'd like to say it was a Lakers Celtics game in 1987 for the finals with Magic Johnson.
It's so funny. I asked you that because you're a fan, and I know how you watch other things. You're a fan of other things.
Right.
I cannot remember what sporting event I watched on TV that I would say was the best event I watched. Not even Super Bowl. Not even Super Bowl. But you know what? Let's go back to the days of Oakland Raiders. Raiders, when Oakland Raiders played Pittsburgh Steelers. I saw a game one time where Oakland, and it was old school now. They had Dave Casper. You know who Dave Casper is?
I know who Dave Casper is. Absolutely.
Who is Dave Casper?
He's a tight end, right?
He was the tight end. Kenneth Stabler.
Trying to test my knowledge of football.
Hold on, wait a minute. Kenneth Stabler.
The snake, the left-handed genius.
Man, then they had Lester Hayes on defense, boy.
Oh my God.
Listen,
he was a brute.
And then you played Pittsburgh Steelers that had Mean Joe Green.
Jack Lambert.
Jack Lambert, Jack Ham. And then they had a stud at quarterback.
Terry Bradshaw.
Terry Bradshaw was a stud.
Lynn Swan.
Big Franco Harris.
He the one that caught that immaculate reception off the shoulder pad.
That's what
hit the ground.
That's what I'm talking about. Took it home. Now, that was a game that I was like, man, I was fixed on it, watching it. When it was on TV, I did not take my eyes off of that TV because this game had me so embedded into it. I was hooked on it. I couldn't take it off. It did something to me. It just took my attention and say, here is what you want, a great football game. Now,
for sure.
Let's take those two events, me and yours and mine, and let's just say, prospectively, what two wrestlers could have been in the ring that you could have watched and compare that match to what you watched, or even better than your event?
I would say if I'm making the call, it would be Ricky the Dragon Steamboat versus the Nature Boy Ric Flair.
So you think that match equal to what you just said was the best sporting event you watched?
One of the best wrestling matches I've ever seen in my life. Chi-Town Heat. Flair Steamboat. From bell to bell. 45 minutes of nothing but storytelling, baby.
I think that match right there would have been good, but both guys are known to sell. They could sell their butts out for other people. So there might be a story that one may sell too much. I need someone, when you speak of those two guys, I need Ric Flair to go be with somebody who got a lot of offense. All they do is just pound you. Rick just
mean like
selling.
Dusty Rhodes.
Boy, Dusty Rhodes.
Dusty sold as good as anybody.
But we ain't talking about selling. Both guys can't sell. If they sell, man, they're just two guys beating each other up. We need one guy who can sell. Ric Flair.
Flair's the seller, baby. You beat the dog shit out of him for 54 minutes, and then he'd sneak up there and pull your tights and win.
Ricky Steamboat. Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke, the wrestler, the Ram.
The Ram. He's a good sell too. He sold against the Ayatollah, is all I know. But now these guys in the matches today, man. Now let me call out my match.
Right,
it'll be Ernie Ladd. Big Ernie Ladd.
And who would he be facing?
Oh yeah, you know who he'll be facing, man.
Abdullah the Butcher.
Abdullah's the man too, but I'm gonna take one of the guys from the old days, and I'm gonna bring them up to what some of the guys who's in the ring right now. You know who I like? MJF.
You like Maxwell Jacob Friedman?
That boy got a mouth on him, boy. No,
He
no,
makes you just smack the shit out of him, don't
he got a mouth on him. No diddy, no diddy,
no diddy.
no diddy. He got a mouth on him. He come and do his talking. He talk. He make you want to see him get beat up, or he make you want him to kick somebody's ass because you know he gonna talk to you. He gonna. I mean, he's to me right now. He one of the best things going in the business.
He's the best heel they got.
He's good. So I would love to see somebody like old school Thunderbolt.
Do you want MJF to join the Hurt business?
That ain't got nothing to do with me, bro.
Well, that's the storyline right now. He's trying to get in with Shelton Benjamin, MVP, and the almighty Bobby Lashley, and becoming part of the Hurt Syndicate.
What? He wants to be the first white guy?
He's trying to get in. He's trying to blend. He's trying to blend, baby.
But he still won't be the first white guy in the Hurt Syndicate.
Who's the first white guy?
They came on yesterday. They had a white lawyer.
Oh, yeah, this white lawyer. Yeah.
So he's part of that clique now.
Yeah, but next week we find out. Bobby gives his final approval. I think he gets in. They've worked this story long enough that I think MJF gets in the Hurt Syndicate. I'm not sure how it ends.
You know, somebody told me this when I worked in WWE. They said, "Watch what you say in the locker room." And I said, "Why?" I didn't say much anyway. They said, "Watch what you say in the locker room." I said, "Why?" Said some way, somehow, Vince McMahon knows exactly what is said in the locker room and what's going on in the locker room. It's very important to him to know what's going on in the locker room. He said, "Why?" I said, "Because if you put the wrong person in your good locker room, he become like a cancer to where he just spread throughout the whole business. He think unruly wrestlers start in the locker room." So he got his ear to the ground, or somebody telling him what's going on in the locker room.
Somebody snitching.
But what I liked about him, he said, you know, it's like a disease, like cancer. Once you get in there, you put a bad seed, a bad apple in the locker room, and next thing you know, it spread like cancer. And your locker room become unruly. Yeah. So listen here. MJF, I don't know if they're a good mix for what they got going on right now. What they got going on right now is very powerful.
Yeah, but if you bring MJF in and he wins the international title or the TNT title or even the world title, that will help bolster the Hurt Syndicate to another level.
Bro, let me ask you something. You got 3 strong black men.
And a white lawyer.
He's just a lawyer, though. He's outside. Let's keep him in his place. He does all the paperwork and business. But you got inside that ring, you got 3 manly black men.
Grown-ass black men, yes.
Rusty black men. Kind of motherfuckers that the dark-skinned brothers, those are the ones you don't want to mess with, too. And you both, and I know those are some dark brothers. Those are the kind of brothers right there look like they could change the fucking flat tire on the side of the road with their bare hands.
Without a jack.
With the knuckles all crispy and ashy. And, you know, these guys right here mean. This is a guy right here. These are the kind of black guy when the light-skinned fella like me see him.
They were trying to jump you in Las Vegas. That's how bad they are. They jumped the cat.
They didn't try to jump me, but as I kind of approached them to their table, really nice guy, very respectful. I saw MVP. I shook MVP hand. "Hey, MVP, how you doing?" He said, "Hey, Cat, how you doing?" Gave me 5, dapped me up. I went over. I shook
Shelton
Benjamin hand. Boo boo. He real nice. Gave me a hug. Now Bobby Lashley always with a big smile and real nice before anybody. Dapped me up. "Hey, how you doing, Cat?" This time I got over. I shook his hand. He had that big old smile. I said, "What's up, Bobby?" And Bobby said, "Hey, Cat." He said, "Y'all, let's jump his ass." So I got in him up. And it surprised me. And it was so funny because I looked up to I said, "Bobby, what's up, man? You're normally the nice guy. You're the nice boy to buzz. Now you're telling your crew to jump me. This black on black crime. We can't do that. Go get one of the other guys."
Yeah, let's get a white dude.
But let's go back. Let's go back to MJF joining the clique.
The Hurt Syndicate, yeah.
The Hurt Syndicate. I think that it depends on where the storyline goes. I don't think he should ever get in. I don't think MJF should get in.
I think he's getting in next week. I think they're getting 3 thumbs up. Is what I think. That's what I think.
If they do, the crew is gonna probably lose their very first match.
I don't know. Right now, tag team champions.
And right now, the way they look versus the way everybody else looked there, who can you imagine beating these guys?
I'm sure the Young Bucks will figure out a way to be the ones to do it.
And the Young Buck, man, with all that flying around. I mean, I love the guys. The guys are really nice. Really nice.
I can't stand them.
Why not?
I don't know, man. It's not believable to me that that in real life that they would be able to do any of that. In real life, I believe that Shelton and Bobby could wreck shop. I really do. I really believe that could wreck some ass.
So now let me ask you this then. Include MJF in that. Do you think those guys can wreck some people along with MJF?
Yeah, because he's just that sneaky little bastard that's going to hit you in the knee when you ain't looking from behind and bring you down and do something, pile drive you on a damn table or something. And he's just that dude. He says nobody's on the level of the devil. He calls himself the devil.
But let me ask you, Big Ray, I'd like to ask you for your opinion for a reason, because I know it's going to always be wrong.
Oh, God.
Don't you think MJF would make the Hurt Syndicate just a little weaker just by being involved in there?
No, I don't. I think it brings a different dynamic to the Hurt Syndicate. You've got an outgoing talker, because let's be honest. Shelton is not a good promo. Bobby Lashley's not a great promo. MVP is
the best.
MVP is one of the best on the mic. Now he's good.
MVP is doing. That's all you need. You don't need number one guy to do.
You really don't need MJF in the Hurt Syndicate to make it work.
The other guys are quiet.
Dynamic.
The other guys are quiet. The other guys are silent. When they speak with their feet and knuckles.
Yep, for sure.
So I don't see anywhere where they should let anybody else in that little group. I think they should be the strong
who
force.
I'd like to see join it? Swerve Strickland. That's who I'd like to see. If they want to add a third member to go after a singles title, I think it should either be Hobbs or it should be
exactly. You're right.
Hobbs or Swerve.
Why you
keep it all black, baby? Keep it all black.
Yeah. Why you got to invite the white boy to the cookout?
Well, he's not just a white boy now. He's a Jewish white boy, and he makes no bones about being a Jew. So he might be rocking that diversity from that angle.
Well, anyway, man, listen. I hope
we
those
can
guys
skin this cat, no pun intended, 15 ways. But
I hope those guys stay strong. I hope. I mean, they're doing a great job. The representation of what power mean.
Speaking of representing power, what about you representing Fourth Rope Wrestling? Talk to me a little bit about that.
Man, you know what? I don't represent it, but I did an event with them where I was on commentary with them
in Las Vegas, Nevada.
Yeah, with David Otua. Or what? How do you put
David Otunga?
Yeah. First time meeting this guy, but he was friendly, very smart guy. Mm-hmm. Had a good time, man. I mean, it was just like at the fashion show, a black fashion show. See, back in 1997, 99, brother, Atlanta was hot. With all the black celebrities. Everybody wanted to be in Atlanta. The clubs were popping. You have clubs like Magic City. You had clubs like the Gold Club. You had Tongue and Groove. Buckhead with plenty of clubs. I mean, everything was rocking. You go there, you could just sit down.
American Pie.
I mean, I went in the club where you had Michael Jordan, Denzel Washington. You had some of the black major stars up in the club, just sitting out drinking, enjoying themselves, man, and beautiful women everywhere. And
The
it was like a
Gold
fashion.
Club,
It
the
was
Pink
like a
Pony,
fashion. Yeah, it was like a fashion show.
Cheetah 3,
It
Spring
was like
Street.
a fashion show. So anyway, so the show we had, the show I attended in Vegas, Fourth Row, had West Side Gun.
West Side Gun, baby, where hip hop
And
meets wrestling.
man,
Baby.
this guy right here putting together a hell of a show, man. And this is his thing. And he's doing it for the culture. He's doing it for the blackness. Well, hip hop meet wrestling.
Correct.
That's good right there. That's good right there. You know, Master P tried to do that back in the day.
Yeah.
Master P wanted to kind of create this promotion to where it was driven by hip hop people, but it was riding along with the wrestling fan because he's a huge wrestling fan.
He was just in AEW a week ago.
Oh, was he?
Yeah, he was in the middle of the ring. Sure enough.
Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. You know, once a fan, always a fan. But Big Ray, listen here, man. It's good having you here, man, and talking to you about this right here. And we just want to get something out there. We just want to continue to grow our fan base, subscribers.
Getting content to our fans is what we're all about.
And giving them content just to entertain them. You know, we got a couple of good interviews coming up. But today we just wanted to get on and talk about wrestling.
Yes.
Talk about wrestling. I'll just give my point of view. I'm not saying you guys got to believe in or think the way I think, or the way we think here, or the way we think here on the Cat's Corner podcast.
But if you don't, you'll just be wrong. Just tell them it'll be wrong.
And then if you disagree, brother, we going live. I want you to call in and tell the cat, hey, I disagree with you, cat. And then I can tell you to kiss my ass.
Straight up. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. So anyway, brother.
No chasing.
So anyway, Big Ray, thanks for coming in, man, and
enjoying
man,
it's been great. It's been great.
So you know, if you guys out there enjoyed this, of course, you know, look at that cash out. Donate something.
Keep that cash app. That $sign Cat's Corner podcast on that cash app.
Because we're going to be giving away some more stuff here soon. We want to pick the person from our cash out that donated and got our attention.
Correct the Mundo.
We want to pick.
The more you give, the more you get.
We want to pick somebody from there and get them some free shit. T-shirt, headshot. I mean, we want to give y'all trips. We want to, you know what? We got some what we thinking about giving out $1,000 to the best Ric Flair impersonator.
Well, I'm gonna win that 1,000.
So I mean, so we got a lot of stuff coming up, man. So make sure you stay tuned, man. Follow us. Subscribe.
Absolutely. Hit that like and subscribe button. And as always, we'd like to thank Recite. And we've mentioned a few other people, but that Ono bag is also really, really nice. I'm still waiting on my navy blue one. If you're out there listening, Mr. Ono, it's a navy blue bag. That's what Ray wants. But anyway.
All right. Well, I tell you what, let's take us on out of here, Big Ray. What's your last word?
Thanks for joining us here on the Cat's Corner podcast. And until next time, for the Cat, I am Big Shug. And we out like a Boy Scout and chicken grease.